to the Punk Rock Horror Podcast, episode 4, the retake.
Why do you have to say it like that?
Because we're going to be talking about stuff that don't line up with episode 3.
I know, but you could just say, hey, we're going to re-record this episode because the other one had a...
Because I wanted to have a cool title. And they turned it off. They're not listening to the rest of this episode now. Yeah, so this is our re-recording because we had really bad audio issues with our original take. So, when we talk about things we love and hate this week, it's not going to be added up to the actual date of when we originally recorded. Just so you guys know.
Yeah.
That's okay.
And Erin's here for the re-recording. She's giving us her time. And Kurt and Cody are fighting about football stuff right now.
Yeah. I'm not going to, yeah.
Tisha.
So, welcome back, Erynn.
Woohoo!
So, no, that's okay. I mean, we're more excited, but it's whatever.
Yeah, we're so excited.
This is only something we're putting our passions and love into, but no, it's okay.
It's like, fuck these guys. I mean, why am I doing this again?
So today we're going to talk about Hatchet, Cabin in the Woods, and The Babysitter.
Yep.
But before that, let's do something you love, something you hate. Cody, do you want to go first, or Erynn, do you want to start us off?
Erynn.
I didn't think about this, so go first.
Oh my goodness.
I had something really good last time, and I think it was about benching Eli Manning, but that's over with, so I don't hate it anymore. So, you go ahead and go first.
No.
I can go.
You go.
Go, Matt.
I don't want to go first. I didn't think of the thing I love.
So I'm going to do the thing I love first before the thing I hate, because the thing I hate is going to be more extensive. So the thing I love that I found out this week is that the It remake hit 700 million worldwide, which is a record, and makes me excited because for horror, that is a huge deal. Because that shows that the horror genre can be taken more serious, and that it's actually an art form and not always just a gore fest. Which obviously, I love my gore fest, but the fact that we can still have, say it's an actual art form makes me happy, and it proves it. And I loved that movie.
So good.
It's really good. I finally saw it last week for the first time.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I love little Stranger Things kid. He's so adorable.
He has such a dirty mouth.
I know.
Like, just like your mom's panties. I was like, that's weird because you're such a sweet kid.
But I'm going to laugh.
Well, Skarsgård, I love his rendition
so
of
hot.
it. Not as good as Tim Curry's, because, obviously, nobody's going to take Tim Curry's mantle, but he definitely holds a torch to it.
Well, like, the cool thing with it is because, Bill Skarsgård's version of it, or Pennywise, like, he was in the movie more than Tim Curry was in the original.
Where
so, like,
Tim Curry was more
of
psychological, because you don't know where he's going to pop up.
Yeah.
But, like, Skarsgård was more intrusive.
Yeah. And also, I just kind of like the little dark humor into it. Like, it made you feel weird about giggling at the stuff he did. Like, when the black kid's getting, like, the shit kicked out of him, and he just looks over.
Yeah, it's just the hands.
He's like, I was just like...
I couldn't help but laugh at that. That was too funny.
I love him.
And then when he dances near the end, like...
I can't take that. It's the most ridiculous...
I know. I was like, oh, this might ruin the whole movie. It didn't.
But it could have.
It was so close. I was like, okay, how could she be scared right now?
If I saw it, I'd probably just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? You know what? No.
You're not going to eat me.
I see those dancing Pennywise. And if Bill Skarsgård's under there, you can come home with me.
Is that right?
He's so
well, it's either Zach Baggins or Skarsgård.
Oh, Zach Bagans. I would sacrifice 15 virgins.
I said
for
Baggins. I said Baggins.
It's Bagans.
Related
Frodo
to
Baggins
Bilbo.
And Frodo.
No.
Baggins, sorry. Baggins. You can only choose one.
I'm going to stick with Baggins from now on.
Just because you want to see Zach Baggins going to fight, like, orcs with Bilbo.
That'd be hot.
And it just makes you think of, like, what you said in episode 3, just him yelling it in the background. Invoke the Holy Trinity!
It's a demon!
As he, like, is holding, like, an axe in the air.
For the Shire!
I'd watch it.
I totally would.
So the thing I hate, though, is that I heard this from a podcast that I listened to. So I guess there was this pastor of this megachurch who came out and, like, during, like, one of his sessions or whatever, said that he, raped a 17-year-old that went to his church, like, for a few years, or however long, you can't remember. And he's like, Jesus now forgives me. And, like, his whole congregation, like, cheered and stood up for him and gave him, like, applause for doing that. And basically, cheering on this rapist. And so the girl, there's a video of her who saw that, and, like, she's breaking down crying because this traumatic experience is basically being applauded to her. And it makes me so angry because it's, like, I used to be more of a Christian back in the day. So I'm not going to harp on anyone's beliefs. I don't think you can be mad at a religion, but you can be mad at the people who speak for it. You know what I mean? And
ruin it.
Yeah, because, like, originally, like, Christianity and, like, Catholicism or what have you is supposed to be a good, like, moral code, Like, you're not supposed to kill people, not supposed to rape people. Like, you're just supposed to be a good person, and
even though they did all of that in the Crusades.
Yeah.
Trying to, like, you will believe in Jesus.
But you get what I'm saying. Like, for today's day and age, it's supposed to be, like, a moral code for people to follow.
Yeah.
Like, and if you believe in it and it saves your life, great. Like, no threat, nothing towards you. But it's this dude who's in power, who people trust him to help them, and he's taking advantage of them, and it's really, like, disgusting.
Yeah.
And it brings me to a place where it's like, obviously, like, I wish this dude, would get assassinated, but I'm not saying that officially. I don't want anyone to call me and be like, you're threatening this guy.
No one's threatening.
But it's like, it's hard not to, because it's like, I have a daughter, and if my daughter was her, I don't know what I would do. I mean, it's one thing, if it's still just as bad if it's just some, crook stranger on the street, but it's this dude who has all this power and all this money.
Yeah.
Who is basically getting away with it in front of everybody. Mm-hmm. And no one's holding him accountable.
No, all because he was like, Jesus forgives me. And it's like, how the fuck do you know?
Well, and I can't imagine what even the parents are going through. Because like I just said, like, I wouldn't know what to do if that was my kid.
Yeah.
Like,
that's disgusting.
It just makes me something so angry. And if you supported this dude or can find any reason to back this dude up, you're a piece of shit.
Pretty much. At the end of the day, there's no justifying that.
Yeah, you can go fuck yourself.
Like, you're just as bad as those vaccination deniers.
Oh, Lord. That's a whole other topic.
You've talked about the fucking vaccination deniers almost every episode.
I did it in episode 2. I did.
Know what? Just let it
episode
go.
1. Episode
just
1.
Let it go. They're gonna be there. Jesus.
I mean, they don't have to be.
Yes, they do. You know why? Because people don't think.
That's why people are eating soap packets now.
Oh my god, that's what I was going to talk. Okay, so something I love. It's a kind of a mix between love and hate. The fact that this is happening, I think, is so stupid. So right now, there's this new internet trend where fucking teenagers are
laundry pod challenge.
They're eating the laundry pods, and it's like, are you really that dumb? And then, like, I want to say something like, I can't believe we're like, there's people that are this dumb, but at the same time, like, fucking let them. Just weed them out. Just get rid of those people. Like, if they're going to be like, hey guys, this is laundry pod challenge, and like, there's literally one where a guy eats a laundry pod and then starts drinking Tide. I'm just like, oh my god, die.
Are you sure it's actually Tide and not like you didn't just empty out the bottle?
He opened up a fresh bottle of Tide and started drinking it.
Jeez, let him go. I mean, if he's that dumb.
Well, to add into that, people don't really realize what they're like doing to young kids, because like the job I work for, I know of a school here in Colorado where a kid took his own life. He tried lighting himself on fire, and they put him out. But then shortly afterwards, he like drank a ton of bleach.
Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, the kid needed help, and I wish the best for his family and everyone affected.
Yeah,
and I'm not trying to make a joke out of that, but I'm just saying, like, they're not realizing the effect they have on some kids. Because some kids care about that cool moniker, and if this says, "Oh, we're gonna be cool,"
this is the new trend.
They're like, "Oh, I survived this. I'm dope."
Which is fucking stupid. But
I used to snort lemonade powder in like 5th grade because we thought it was cool, but at least that was edible.
We did
the
snorted
chili
pixie
powder.
sticks.
Yeah, or like the liquid mints, we'd put them on our nose and like break them. Oh my god!
Or like broken up hot and spicy Cheetos.
But
See,
at
mine
least
was,
that's food. It won't
Like, we're
kill
not
you.
saying snort stuff. Like, we're not saying that's
I'm
okay.
saying do it, but it's like, don't do something that's toxic.
At least we weren't that dumb. We
Yeah.
were dumb, but not dumb enough to eat laundry detergent.
Oh, no. Like,
Yeah.
the funny thing about when I started seeing that on Facebook and everything, like, so I used to work night crew at King Soopers, and we literally had to put a note at the laundry pod saying, do not ingest. And I was just like, who the fuck is so stupid to eat this shit? I was proven wrong.
Yeah.
Here we are in 2018.
And, yeah, 2018, 4 years later, it's literally a trend on fucking the internet. to
Trump's
eat
America
everything.
now.
Sure is.
It's too bad he won't eat a few laundry pods.
Yeah, right. What was the
Oh,
something
man.
you loved?
Right.
That was like both.
It was kind of both.
It was both.
But, yeah, sort of. Just because, like, I think it's so goddamn funny that it's actually happening, but I hate it so much because we're literally that stupid.
It's
Like,
the reason,
there's
it's the
people
reason
that
why
are-
other countries hate us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty
it's
much.
like, you expect. Oh, yeah, right? Like, there's fucking people like, we're starving and you're eating laundry pods. I just want a fucking piece of rice. And, like, oh my god.
I could use that to clean my clothes.
Yeah, I could use that to clean my clothes
And you're eating it.
that I haven't washed in 2 years that are now 2 sizes too small. Like, oh
God.
my god. It's just stupid people. Just fucking stupid people. Just
Yeah.
let them all eat it. Just
Yeah.
don't
Cleanse
call
is stupid.
Don't call the ambulance. Like, parents of those kids, don't even call the ambulance. Just be like, well, I guess we'll just start over. Maybe you'll get a smarter kid after that. Jesus.
See, the government actually paid a kid to do it to start, lowering the population so it can fix the economy, man.
Oh, get the tinfoil hats out.
Says I don't have a permanent one.
That was the buzzing sound and the original recording as we were
Tinfoil
fighting
hats.
Because
against.
we all had tinfoil hats.
We were fighting the FBI. What about you, Erynn?
Let's see. Something I love was Insidious 4.
Was it actually good?
I
Was it
fucking
good?
loved it.
Okay.
I liked it. I don't know. The way... I would go see it again right now. If
Was
I
it
could.
better than 3?
Yes. 3 was my least favorite out of all of them. I wanted to like it the most because I have a huge lady boner for Lee Winnell, and he wrote and directed that one.
Mm-hmm.
But it just... I don't feel like there was as much comedic relief in that one, like with Tucker and Specs.
Oh, I get what you mean.
Yeah, 'cause,
well,
like-
but that was the introduction of them.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was an origin.
I know.
And I think that was...
So
But 4 was amazing. I loved it.
Well, I think that's what a lot of people didn't like about it because they didn't understand it was an origin.
Yeah, the prequel.
mhm.
And they didn't know that. They thought it was going to be more focusing on... what's his face from the first movie?
Dalton and...
No, the Darth Maul demon.
Oh, the lipstick demon.
Yeah.
I didn't like him. But I love the first one. But the fourth one, definitely worth seeing. It was pretty scary. The storyline was great. And I love Lee Winnell.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely.
And then I'm trying to think of something I hate. It's somewhere in between Milk and Tom Brady.
Milk?
Yes. I think Milk is foul.
Not Harvey Milk.
What?
No,
I was going to say, this is going to
Chocolate milk?
get into a real
any kind of
controversial
milk.
episode.
I mean, my mom will pull out
What?
the freaking thing of milk, and I'm in my room, and I can just sense it, and I start gagging.
I have milk in the
Oh
fridge.
my
We can
God.
test this
Oh
on
my
the
God, no.
podcast.
Let's just
No, no.
Really? How can you hate milk? It's
What about powdered milk?
Oh, no.
canned milk?
Cough included.
Sorry.
Why don't... So, wait, are you lactose intolerant?
I'm lactose sensitive,
Oh, okay.
so I'll shit all over your car
So you can eat
if you piss me
cheese?
off.
What about cheese? This
Hey.
motherfucker. Glug, glug, glug.
Always
Hey,
happens.
I had an ex that Cody was willing to shit on her car for me.
Yep.
I did shit on somebody's car once.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm a super,
Was it an ex?
super lady. No.
Oh.
Hopefully this person never listens to this podcast, but it was a stupid bitch that really made me angry.
Do they know it's you?
Nope.
Well, then there you go.
Yeah.
But the funny part about it, so this is, oh god, I can't believe I'm
As long as you don't
telling
give any
Say it.
specific details of like the car or the
Yeah.
lady,
No.
like you'll be
All
fine.
that.
Her and her mom had the same exact car. So I didn't know which one was hers, and
She
I was
just
really
went for
drunk.
both of them.
I did.
That's punk rock.
That's fucking awesome.
Yep. And that
You
was
officially
why
you have
did
more
you do
balls than
this?
us in that
because she made
situation.
me mad. She started. Okay, have you guys seen Single White Female?
No, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's a movie from the 80s, and basically this girl moves in, she needs a roommate, and she gets a roommate, and the roommate kind of starts, like, becoming her.
Oh, is that what you mean? Like, why you hate her?
Yeah. And she started, like, becoming me. She started trying to sleep with all my metalhead friends. She started buying the same clothes. She started liking the same music. She literally bought the same shirts.
She was clay. She got molded around you.
Yeah. And I was like, bitch, please. And then she tried to talk to someone that I had talked to once. Mm-hmm. And I was like, all right, bitch, like, you've way overstepped your territory.
So I'm going to shit on your car.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Hey, I guess you get ticketed for that, but you can't go to jail, I don't think.
I mean, there's no proof of it now.
Yeah. What do you do?
Till now.
But I could be lying. This could be a fake story. I mean, I hope 4 years later she has wiped the shit off of her door handles.
Well, like I said, as long as you don't give anything specific out, like names or car models or anything.
Oh, no, but if she ever listened to it, she'd be like, oh, that she's talking about me.
She'd have to be able to prove it first.
Yeah. Yeah, for all you know, you could be talking about someone else's car.
Exactly.
You could be talking about my ex that I just mentioned.
Exactly. Well, nobody will ever know.
Yeah, pretty much.
But no regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets.
But yeah, so fuck milk. That was my thing. No, that's what I hate. I hate that bitch.
There you go. See, it's rooted. It's rooted. You just need to get it out finally. See,
no, you know what? I change it. Fuck milk. Fuck
that's the beauty of this podcast. It's horror themed and also therapy.
Apparently, fecal matter is a big thing. So
yeah, I fecal you.
Shut up.
Everybody laughs at a good poop joke.
I mean, yeah.
It's all meaty.
Did you say it's all meaty?
It's a Christ all meaty.
Oh, okay.
All meaty and
I thought you were going back to it. Like, I thought you were going to describe it to us. I was like, all right. It's
so
all
if you
meaty.
ever want to get real revenge on someone, eat a lot of red meat and then just fucking...
Just trip to Taco Bell.
Get some laxatives.
Taco Bell, clean out that system.
Yeah, Taco Bell, that's my go-to.
Taco Bell and milk, just... Not milk, coffee. Sorry, I meant coffee. Taco Bell and coffee. Just...
No, it has to be like Taco Bell and milk now. Like, oh my god, just dunk your burrito in there.
So wait, before we get Jenny, did you actually drink milk?
No.
I thought you were so petty about it. You're just like, it is so odd. You went to the store, just took a jug of milk down.
You're chugging, you're like, oh god, this is so...
No, she fucking hasn't come.
If I could keep milk down, I would have. But I think it gets in my, like...
I mean, it could have been like...
Yeah.
You could have, like, had it come out of both ends.
I don't know, that's funnier to think that you're just standing out front of a gas station and you're just like taking out a whole thing of milk. You're like, it's fucking coming, bitch.
It's on now.
I'm bringing the store.
Lauren, she made macaroni and cheese for me one time, and I didn't realize how much milk she put in it. So I was sleeping at my boyfriend's house. And we hadn't been dating that long, so I woke up at 2 a.m. and it was not a good thing. So I ran back to my apartment across the street.
Did you in the bed?
No.
Oh, okay. No. I thought you meant like in the middle of your sleep, just bam.
You're just sleeping.
Okay.
You mid sleep.
No.
If
my
it makes you feel,
sphincter's a little tighter than that.
If it makes you feel better, after I had my wisdom teeth taken out a few years back, I was dating this girl, and we were making out, and she came to visit me because I was in bed on Percocet. And she's making out with me, and the Percocet wasn't sitting with my stomach.
Oh, no.
So I kind of had to, like, push her out of the way, went straight to the bathroom, and my mouth was still bloody from, like, the stitches and whatnot, and I vomited up blood. And she's like, I'm gonna go. And I'm like, I'm sorry, it's not your fault. I swear you're great to kiss.
This isn't your fault. And then, like, in the back of your head, yes, it is. You should have just let me sleep.
Bitch, you got stank breath.
No, did you brush your teeth? You should have just shouted, did you even brush your teeth?
No, me and her are cool now. But like back then, I was like, this is such worst timing ever.
Oh, good lord.
All right. So we'll go ahead and move on then.
After all the poop and jokes and everything.
Yeah, we'll start off with Hatchet, and we'll talk about that one. I'm trying to pull up the info. It's taken. I should have pulled it up in the middle, but I was so enthralled by the story that I had to hear how it ended. Is there a sequel? Is the sequel called Revengeance?
I'm sure someone will make me mad enough.
Revenge of the butt.
I'm hoping.
The river shits.
The river shits.
Shaw shit redemption.
Shaw shit redemption.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Shit razor.
Shit razor.
Nightmare on Shit Street.
Oh, what was the shit? Oh no, like Nick Swartz's joke. Shit factory.
Fecal Wars, a new poop.
Is this a poop cast that we're having today, guys?
So.
That's how the information comes up, yes. I'm really trying to bring it up right now. And this is great to kill the time. So we're not just like silent the whole time. Just like...
Yeah. No, just be quiet. Just shh.
We need to do an ASMR now.
Oh my god, shut up.
Welcome everybody. This is now the ASMR part of this.
Oh my god, no, fuck that. I hate that so much. It does nothing but make my skin crawl.
What's the problem, Erynn?
Oh my god, no.
You don't like the smooth, calming voice of like those ASMR?
It's so nice. It's
No.
just
So soothing. You're like, oh, I can fall asleep to this.
I'd poop on their cars.
All right. Okay. Now I got all the stuff now.
Okay.
So
Do you?
yes,
Really?
I do.
Okay, just making sure. God, you don't have to get so fucking defensive about it.
Sorry. We're fighting now. So
Spider-Man.
Hatchet came out in 2006, directed by Adam Green and written by Adam Green. Stars Joel David Moore, Amara Zaragoza, Dion Richmond, Kane Hodder, Mercedes McNabb, Perry Sheen, Joel Murray, Jolie Fioravanti,
Ole.
and Danielle Harris.
Stop that.
So, the movie is about a group of tourists in New Orleans go to a haunted swamp tour and find themselves stranded in the wilderness, and then their evening of fun and spooks turns into a horrific nightmare.
And they get more than they bargained for.
Oh my god.
It's actually the stock meeting. I don't know where I was going to go with that.
They all just start shitting everywhere. Basically,
They have a poop fight.
The end.
And also, Tony Todd and Robert Englund are in the movie as well and make cameos.
Which is so cool.
So, do you want to start us off and why you love this movie?
I love this movie so much. Like, they're so ridiculous. Like, they're sort of campy, but not too campy.
Well, what's something about it that, like, you really love
They're too
as you
campy.
like,
God.
jack off. Make jack off motions that no one could see.
He's distracting me.
I don't know what you're talking
No,
about.
in terms of, like, women and horror, I think that one's fun. Because...
What? I'm just listening.
The main character, I forget who the actress that plays her in the first one, but when Danielle Harris comes in the second and third one, she's such a badass. And there's no love story. That's the best part of it for me, is there's not really much of a love story. So you don't have to deal with the bullshit. And I just call her Danielle Harris. Danielle Harris is there to, like, kick ass and take names.
Yeah, actually, I gotta make that correction. I made the mistake. I thought Danielle Harris was in the first one.
No, she's second.
That's my mistake, so...
God, Matt.
Because when I'm talking about Hatchet, I'm talking about this.
Well, yeah, because she's just as iconic in the role as Kane Hodder is.
Yeah.
Like, she makes that whole trilogy her own. No discredit to any of the other actors.
No. Or the other chick that plays... What is the main character's name? I should know this.
I'm looking it up right now.
I'm really bad at character names in movies. I just call the actors by their names.
That one
It's the
person.
other way around.
But she did a good job, too. But
Yeah.
I just love Danielle Harris.
Well, going off what you said is that... Mary Beth.
Mary Beth, that's right.
Yeah. So going off of what you said about it is that this is definitely a love letter to gore movies and to slasher movies.
Yeah.
To which me and Cody were watching a bunch of, before you came over behind the scenes and interviews with Kane Hodder. And he says he likes doing the role of Victor Crowley more than Jason Voorhees. And you can see it because when you're watching the movies, they have fun with the gore, they have fun with the kills.
Oh yeah, that's the best part.
Which is the best of any slasher movie, and that's what I mean. It's a love letter because, even the beginning of the second one, like she has to get Crowley off of her because Crowley's choking her with a smashed in face, so she has to fist his entire face in order to get him off her. Like it's you don't see that in theater releases.
And none of it's CGI.
No.
There's no CGI
like,
in these movies.
it's all practical effects. Like I don't know, my favorite kills when like the two people are like having sex in the middle of the woods and the guy's like doing her from behind and he gets his head cut off and his body just starts convulsing and she's getting all into it until she turns around and just sees his dead body like flop over. Like I was laughing so hard 'cause she's like, "Oh yeah," and then she's like, "Why'd you stop? Why'd you stop? Oh my god!"
Well, one thing that you mentioned, Erynn, in when the original recording is that the reason you think this is a good movie for a strong female role is that Daniel Harris's character doesn't really need or Mary Beth doesn't need the guy around. Like, that's not her interest. Her interest is, overcoming her trauma and killing Crowley.
Exactly. And wait, we do a 5-second spoiler, or is it 10 seconds?
No, we'll get into... We try to do the spoilers near the end.
Okay.
So, if you can wait.
Oh, I can wait.
If you can wait.
Can you? Can you wait?
So, because we still got to talk about the cons of, the movies. Which...
I have trouble thinking about cons. But, I mean, and the other... I think I remember talking about this the first go-around is in the original, the first one, they have the other two girls in there that are, super skanky. Just your... stereotypical Valley Girl porn stars.
Yeah.
And then to have Mary Beth there, there's just that nice juxtaposition between the two, so you get, kind of the best of both worlds in horror movies, because a lot of people bitch about all the girls being stupid in horror movies and, dunces.
Mm-hmm.
And...
But, in horror, though, it's also kind of, a thing of honor to get a great kill. To get killed in a movie and to be done well.
Oh, yeah.
To have your kill be one of the most gory, most effed up ones.
The most memorable kill.
Yeah.
That's everybody's goal.
It's like a badge of honor.
Just ripped out.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, and so, I get what you're saying, because this is such a love letter to slasher films. When you're watching it, you expect that, and you know that's what it is. And so, the cons in this movie that work against it are what make it great, because they exploit it. Mm-hmm. Like you were saying with the skanky girls. Them getting killed is kind of a message as to Daniel Harris's character overcoming, shooting him in the face with a shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what I mean. That they work on the cons and they build up from that.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Mm. But I think it's just good in terms of just basically getting down to a strong female role. I think Mary Beth is one of the. Because I don't know how to explain it, but you don't really like her that much. She's not an endearing character by any means.
Going off what you're saying is there's horror movies with roles that are written for you to have to like them, mm-hmm. where you can tell it's this the
virgin.
The virgin, you have to like the virgin. The virgin does nothing wrong. You have to like her, or the dorky guy. You have to love the dorky guy.
Because he's just doing it because he's secretly in love with her.
But, this is a hero where she's not written to be liked.
No.
She's written to survive. And when you're actually surviving a giant mutated, Victor Crowley chasing you down, you're not caring if you're a good person or a bad person. You're surviving. You're overcoming this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what works for it. I don't see that as a thing that hurts the movie.
Not at all.
But I think to people who aren't prone to that stuff, they're not going to like it.
I think people who aren't super into horror might not appreciate it like horror fans do.
Exactly.
They'd be like, why don't, oh my god, what's wrong with this character? I don't even like any of them.
I hope she dies. And it's that's not the point. All right? She needs to survive.
Exactly. No, yeah, definitely. And then, so I think, because we wanted to just do a better job at loving this movie, just because when we listened to the original recording, we felt like we didn't do as good of a job, and put it on a good enough pedestal. Not saying you did it. You did. But me and Cody were we should have done more research. So
you guys did your kill research before I came over.
Yeah. We've been doing it. So we're just because at the time we were unprepared. Because Cody was doing The Babysitter and I was doing Cabin in the Woods.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the decision to give you one was last minute, so we didn't give us enough time to actually.
We're I guess we'll throw her a bone and let her have her own movie.
So real quick fun facts before we do the spoilers real quick is that to keep the set hidden, the movie was actually called Love Rodeo during the production, which is, again, they had fun with this movie, so obviously they would name it something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Also, the horrible, deformed young Victor Crowley is actually played by a beautiful young actress named Rila, or Riley. It's Rileah Vanderbilt. When makeup effects artist John Carl Bolcher needed a model on whom to test a latex prosthetic, Bryla was the volunteer. Since the makeup effects had already been modeled to her face for the test shots, she played the role in the film.
That's awesome.
Right? It's a chick.
Yeah.
And also, last one. During the cemetery scene on the tombstones, you can actually see the name Sarah Ilbert and Corey Neal, both producers of the film, and writer and director Adam Green. So you can actually see him in the cemetery.
Adam Green makes cameos in the movies too. Like,
yeah, and also I want to point out, so apparently there's like some controversy that I think it was like Adam Green or Brian wasn't on set the entire time, to which Kane Hodder came out in an interview and said that's not true. He was there every day. So I think it was Adam and Brian. I don't remember. So
anyway, if Kane Hodder tells you it's true, it's probably true.
I love him.
Yeah, that dude is amazing.
He's like the nicest guy too. When I met him, I've met him a couple times.
He has a book.
He likes juggalos though.
You know what? ICP has been moved up on the music quality scale since like Justin Bieber came out, because then everything else came out under that, like mumble rap, like that Catch Me Outside girl now raps.
I actually love her.
Hey, I was already telling Cody this, and I was like, give her as much hate as you want. She capitalized on her 15 minutes.
Exactly. She's a millionaire now at 14, paid off her mom's mortgage for basically being a little shit. Like, that was my dream at 14, to get paid
to pay off
for being a little shit.
Yeah. So she made it work.
Maybe you should just try to get on Dr. Phil. That's all you need to do.
Yeah. I mean, you have this great
Not
shit
anymore.
story.
You can't do now. Yeah, I was like, you're too old now. Now everybody's just going to be like...
So we'll do your hair up
Send her to
right.
prison.
Yeah, they're like, in jail.
We'll come and be like, she was on our podcast and she started shitting in the middle of our podcast.
Yeah.
And you're like, ha ba ha ha ba ha.
Yeah.
Because you can't actually say the words, so you have to be even more ghetto. So you just got to make the sounds. Just ha ba ha ha
Yeah,
ma.
just start flinging shit at
Ha-da-ba.
Oh my god.
And
This
then
is like, what podcast are we listening to right now?
They come out with a successful rap album. There you go. Do it.
Do it. You won't.
You dancing on the podcast doesn't help the listeners.
No.
But I'm dancing.
can't
That's
see
exactly.
it.
I can dance and I can be an idiot. No one can see me.
I mean, we can.
Well, I don't give a shit.
Maybe we're lying. Who knows?
Yeah.
The mystery continues.
Dun, dun,
There's
dun.
any cute listeners. I'm single.
Yeah, we already put Cody's status out there a few episodes.
Apparently, yeah. A couple times.
But yeah, is there any spoilers you
Don't
want?
leave
You don't have to talk about the spoilers if you don't want to, but you can.
Okay, so yeah, I'm going to talk about a spoiler, so y'all shut it off if you don't want to hear the end.
Okay, so we'll give you, I don't know, do you feel like you need 5 or 10 minutes for it to talk about the spoilers?
Oh, not even that.
Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
So, going back to sort of Danielle Harris or Mary Beth, I mean, you don't like her very much throughout the movie. Like, of course, you like want her to kick Crowley's ass, but then she dies in the end.
Yeah.
Which in so many movies, if you follow the formula, you like end up having like the pure couple live. Like, it's always like the virgin and whoever she's gonna fuck.
Go back to like what we were saying, like, you know, they have to like them, they can do no wrong.
And they live, but it's like Danielle Harris goes through all the shit throughout the 3 movies, and then Crowley ends up fucking killing her as she's handing him the ashes to make it stop.
Yeah.
And then she dead.
And
but then Hatchet 4 comes out, I think, next month?
Yeah, because the third one was supposed to be the end of it. Like, even Kane said, like, this was the final movie. That one was the final movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it comes out. I thought it came out in March.
I think, it's in the next couple months. And I don't think it's getting a theater release. I think
it's straight to
digital.
DVD. I mean, it's probably going to go to some small theaters.
I saw the first 2 Hatchets in theaters, but that was only because the Alamo during their
they didn't get the release big. I don't think.
Yeah, like I was saying, like probably like small underground theaters are probably going to show it.
Yeah, because like it was the same thing with like Wrong Turn. I think the first one might have released in theaters, and then the rest of them got just straight to DVD.
Yeah.
So that was because they got to have more fun with the like gore and everything. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, then on to The Babysitter. So Babysitter came out.
I like this movie.
Literally.
Oh my god!
It came out Friday the 13th of last year on Netflix.
Last year I was like, what?
Yep. You
now
forget.
we're in
It's
2018.
And it's still
That's
nothing
right.
different.
Director, I don't know if it's McG or MCG.
McG.
McG. Bring me over.
Written
That's
by...
what Trevor Simeon wrote on my jersey. I love you, McG. He did.
Whatever.
Oh, well,
Isn't
now
that
that's
so
depressing.
cool? And now he's probably not even going to start.
Written by Brian Duffield. And stars Judah Lewis, Samara Weaving, Robbie Amell, Hannah Mae Lee, Bella Thorne, Emily Allen Lind, Andrew Batchelor, and Doug Haley. Again, I just go through like the first few of them. I can go down the whole list.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right.
And what it's about is the events of one evening take an unexpected turn for the worst for a young boy trying to spy on his babysitter.
Dun, dun,
Dun,
dun.
dun. Do you want to start this one off?
Yeah. No, I don't know.
We'll
your
just spot
movie.
now.
I guess we'll do it. I know, this is my movie. Yeah, so, like, I honestly, I really liked it because it was super campy. So, like, it did a really good job of, like, not taking itself too seriously.
Yeah. Like Tucker and Dale.
Yeah, like, exactly like Tucker and Dale, whereas, like, all the characters, you know, they all had their motivations and everything. And, like, the one thing that I actually like this a little bit more than Tucker and Dale is that even all the, like, the villains of the movie, you actually liked almost every character. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think there's a single character in that entire movie that I didn't like, except for, like, I don't know if I should say because it might be kind of a spoiler.
What's the scene?
The
No, because that's
where
in the
he figures it
trailer.
out.
That's in the trailer.
Okay, so the sacrifice for the cult thing.
Yeah, the first
Like,
sacrifice.
except for him, like, I mean, like that actor, like, really owned the, like, nervous new.
Yeah, he owned
like,
it.
nerd
I
But,
thought
like,
Andrew Batchelor. Sorry.
But, like, for the most part, like, all the people, like, you liked, like, they each had a quality that you liked about them.
Yeah, I felt like his humor was super forced in the entire movie.
And then, like, the only real person you didn't really like was, like, the one bully. But it was just kind of like, because no one likes bullies in movies for the most part.
Or real life.
Or
Yeah.
real life, I guess.
Well, I mean, in this movie, like, it has a scene where, like, she's, like, getting out of the pool in her bikini, the whole, 80s slow motion kind of thing from, Fast Times at Ridgemont High
Yeah.
kind of thing. And, but she showed that she was great at manipulating all those around her to follow her and to do what she did without using her body. To which we would ask you, Erynn, how do you feel about that?
About people who...
Like,
Okay,
so she
even though
knew she was sexy. Like,
Yeah,
she knew.
and she was super hot and everything, but she never used her, like, sexuality, I guess, like, to get the people to do what they want.
And she's able to get these people from different parts of, like, social groups. You get the jock, the cheerleader, the basket case, literally like the whole Breakfast Club to come and do these satanic sacrifices. And she was able to manipulate all of them and also still manipulate this 13-year-old boy to laying down his guard.
Yeah, and she did it by going towards his nerdiness. Like, she was smart about all of it, so she, like, found a way for each person, and it wasn't like in
she's like good
at
at
manipulating. I'm so
manipulating.
hot, so you should do it for this.
Well, there's a
maybe I'll
scene
sleep
in the
with you.
movie where, like, she makes out with Bella Thorne's character because they're doing Spin the Bottle.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, that's, like, one of the stereotypical, like, oh, it's,
Hot
two
chicks.
Yeah, but
hot chicks.
that scene is so over the top. Like, they make it so over the top ridiculous because it was like, so because when you're thinking about it, most of this movie is also kind of portrayed through, like, the eyes of a 13-year-old, and so when a 13-year-old boy that's, like, going through puberty and starting to like girls, when he thinks about two girls kissing, it's what they show in that movie.
Yeah.
Because it's so ridiculous. It wasn't just like they kind of make out for a second. Like, they fucking go at it.
Yeah, but throughout the movie, she doesn't have to, like, seduce anyone.
No.
She gives orders and they follow it. So, like, that's what we're asking you is how do you feel as that portrayal as, like, a woman as a villain?
Oh, I love women villains.
But do you feel like that's a fair balance of, like, she's able to, like, show that she can be sexy? Kind of like what we were talking about with Elvira.
Yeah.
But she's able to command a whole entire group with just, her orders, with her power that she has.
Which, of course, as a woman, I'm all about, like, being smart as well as, hot or one or the... Whatever you are. And I think it's good that there is that sort of portrayal. I think we probably do need more of that in horror.
So you feel like that's, like, a kind of a right more direction? to go, or?
I'm all about balance because I think we still need the super sexy bimbos. Like, I don't want that to go away by any means because I love them just as much. But I think that maybe if we had more smart women and there's like that balance.
Well, and that's what's a good balance of in this movie is that each actor like is great fulfilling their role.
Yeah, like because they use for like the sex appeal or whatever. There's like that one scene where the two girls make out, and then but for the most part, it's the jock, like the guy. He's like the sex appeal of the movie because then for the rest of the movie he's shirtless. That's right.
I didn't think about it. Yeah, because he's shirtless for the whole movie. I didn't even think about that.
It's so ridiculous. And like the funny thing is like they make sure to pinpoint it in the movie. Like the kid's like all tied up, and the first thing he opens his eyes after being knocked unconscious. And, like, the jock's, like, standing there, like, flexing his muscles with, like, a baseball bat behind his head. And the first thing the kid just goes, why is he shirtless? And, like, they're all like, after everything you just saw, that's the question you're going to ask first thing? Why is he why does that even matter? He's like, I just want to know, why is he shirtless? Like, after all, you're doing all this and all of a sudden he's shirtless? Like, what the fuck?
I need to see this movie.
Oh, it's so good.
It's great. It deserves way more attention because, like, it was getting a lot of hype around it. But then it just, like, nobody paid attention to it after a month. You know? So it was, it's a bit of a letdown on that. Not the movie, but that didn't get that much attention. But, like, a fun fact about it is, like, this is Bella Thorne's 4th horror film. Which is funny, because she was a Disney star.
Yeah.
And so she did Forget Me Not, Keep Watching, and Amityville: The Awakening.
Oh, okay.
So, the few of the cons that I think hurt this movie is that some of the campiness takes you out of the immersion of what the movie's going for.
Yeah, there was a couple scenes of that, like the like okay, so I guess kind of a spoiler, but the jock is chasing the kid, and then the bully's in the front, and he's like throwing eggs at his house and like just calling him like a little wuss and stuff like that, and the jock literally just stops trying to kill him. They're like, you gotta go defend your house and stuff like that. And he was like, come on, you got this. I love you. And he like kisses him on the forehead. And it's just like, what the fuck just happened?
So stuff like that. And some of the characters are cut off too soon. Like I feel like Andrew Bachelor's character was cut off too soon because they were trying to establish him more.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It felt like it was a negative because it goes back to, the black guy was killed first.
Yeah, there's that. And also,
said he's the villain.
And also, like, how stupid the cops were.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Like, they literally bust into the house. They see a dead body. One, like, is holding his gun up. And then, like, he gets his harpoon in the eye. And the other cop's just like, what do I do? It's like, fucking shoot him.
Another thing that we both didn't like is that her motivation isn't explained in this movie.
Yeah.
So this isn't a spoiler, but like you can see in the trailer, she's in a cult. It never explains why she does it, and to some horror movies that's great because it's like, oh, she, the mysterious thing that you can't explain.
When you can't see the villain, like in my kit.
Yeah, but when the whole movie centers around that, like you have to explain some of that origin. You have to say why she wants to kill the kid.
Yeah, because no, she says she doesn't want to kill him because she only wanted his blood.
Well, either way, like they kind of talk about it, but like.
Well, they talk about having to kill the. Well, I'm saying they want to talk about like actually.
No, I mean like why she does it. They kind of talk about it, but they don't go into it in enough detail.
Yeah,
to justify her for what she's doing.
Because the only one that I remember they went into was the cheerleader, and she wanted like her whole thing was like she wanted to be hot and popular and
the rest of
her life. And but like no one else, and like. I wanted to know, like, the main villain's, like, her whole entire reason for doing it. Because, like, even though, she's hot, but she's super relatable, like, at least to us, because she's super nerdy. Because, like, she was whenever she talked to the kid, like, her, like, top 5, who would be in their, like, space team. Yeah. And stuff like that. So it's like, why are you doing this?
Yeah, no, that was just really frustrating for me. Just, because they never explained it, because I thought they were going to, and it just... I don't know, it was a letdown.
Yeah.
But it's still a great movie despite those few cons. It's worth the watch because it's definitely got that Tucker and Dale versus Evil humor feel to it, and even kind of like a Scott Pilgrim sense of like fourth wall breaking.
Like when he's tied up and he pulls out a pocket knife and it's like a motherfucking pocket knife.
Yeah.
Like,
To which we know you haven't seen Scott
said-
Pilgrim,
it
but
actually pops up and says that, and so, like, and I just think it's funny because, like, another thing that I actually really liked about this movie is that, like, so while it did some of the stereotype of like horror tropes and stuff, like with the stupid cops,
yeah.
and like there's the hot cheerleader
cheerleader.
and stuff. Like, even when they did, like, they were going to do another trope, like the fact that he all of a sudden had a pocket knife that they showed in the beginning, that was going to be his saving grace.
Yeah.
Like, they catch it. Like, the kid, like, one of the guys was like, are you trying to cut yourself free? You know there's a mirror behind you and we can see the pocket knife. And he's just like... he, like, starts going, like, faster because, like, in most movies, like, he would start saying a monologue and then, like, he would cut himself free and then run away or some shit. Like, it's just really fun. They're like, we can see you cutting the rope. Like,
I need to watch this movie. I will.
Yeah,
you do.
it's definitely worth
Do
it.
it.
So here's one where we can all talk about
do it.
and put in a little more. And that was my choice, which is The Cabin in the Woods.
I love this movie.
So good.
Directed by Drew Goddard, written by Josh Whedon and Drew Goddard, cast Kristen Connolly, Chris Hemsworth, Hanna Hutchison, Fran Kranz, Jesse Williams, and Richard Jenkins with Bradley Whitford and Sigourney Weaver. So, I have to pull up the premise again.
God, I swear I always forget Sigourney Weaver's in that movie.
Because she's at the very end.
Yeah.
Like, she's the voice, like, through most of it, but then she just pops up at the very end.
I'm like, oh shit, Sigourney, what's up?
You're like, how you doing?
I know you.
I know that face. You killed an alien.
You killed many, many aliens. So yeah, Cabin in the Woods is about 5 friends that go for a vacation into a remote cabin where they got more than they bargained for, discovering the truth behind the cabin in the woods that lies more horror.
You sure it's not pronounced cabin?
No, I have to, it keeps throwing me off because, like I say all the time, IMDb's super small summary is written so weird because you want to know what it actually says? With the letter 5. Not the letter number 5.
Letter 5.
It's throwing me off so
like,
bad.
Wait a minute.
You'll see what I mean. So
Wait,
5
Newt.
5 friends go for a break at a remote cabin where they get more than they bargained for,
I knew
discovering
he
the
was gonna say
truth behind the cabin in the woods.
Oh my god.
Cabin in the woods.
We were doing all that Minnesota accent, so that stuck
Yeah,
with me.
it is.
The
Oh, if they
cabin.
don't make it this year, they'll have it next year.
Oh, it's okay. The Vikings will do better next year. Let's go Timberwolves.
Let's go Timberwolves, yeah.
Matt Ryan just threw a nice throw. Just document this moment in history where
I just...
Falcons and the Eagles are playing. Fuck the Eagles.
Did he finally put his big boy pants on? Matt Ryan?
Well, a little too late. Yeah. About a year too late.
I know. Jesus.
So why I picked this movie and love this movie is because it, like we said with Hatchet, it's a love letter to slashers. This is a love letter to the classic horror movies and classic B horror movies such as like Evil Dead and Hellraiser. And it makes a good farce of those classic horror tropes. This is the jock, the bimbo, the virgin,
The
so on and so
stoner.
forth, stoner, so on and so forth, the
Joker.
nerd. And that it makes a whole movie out of that. Like, and what I love about it is they explain it because all these characters aren't those stereotypical roles until they get to the cabin. So, like, the girl who plays the bimbo, which I think it's either Kristen Connolly or Hanna Hutchison. She, her character's hair was dyed. Like, she just dyed her hair, but the corporation that is behind everything planted like the dye that made her stupid. Like, it made her perfectly, like, a perfect dumb blonde. Like, so that's how they explain that in horror movies. Like, why the dumb blonde is dumb.
Yep.
And then there's chemicals released to make them act out of normal. So,
Yeah,
Chris
like
Hemsworth's character is a sociology major in the movie. But when they get to the cabin, he begins to act like a dumb, stereotypical alpha jock.
And he's wearing the letter jacket too.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
He ends up wearing the letter jacket and everything.
Yeah.
Like, he is a football player too, like in his like regular life.
Yeah.
Also, but like, I forget why they explained how he started doing it. I think it was like from like the stuff he was drinking.
I was pretty sure it was either the chemicals or the beer.
Mm-hmm. And then the stoner, like, yeah, he did like smoke pot once in a while, but like they switched his weed out with like the chemically induced weed, make him want to smoke more and get more and more dumb. which was their downfall, like, because he was like, they don't know how to fuck with pot, so, like, I'm not as stupid as you think now.
That is something that, like, upsets me with this movie, is that it's this corporation that, you know, I don't know, because I don't know if that's going to give, because that's part
It's been out long enough.
If you haven't seen it at this point...
Okay, so
that's kind of how I feel with it.
So I guess it doesn't give all the major spoilers away, but there is a corporation behind all the strange happenings in the cabin. So the thing that upsets me is that they're this high billion-dollar secret government organization, yet they couldn't like just make the perfect weed. Like that's no excuse. Like they're able to release monsters, you know, as they wish, horrific folklore mythical monsters, and just keep them contained in glass cages. But no, they can't fucking tackle weed.
Is that, and also the fact that they have that safety release button at the end of the movie, like a button literally releases all the monsters into your facility. Like,
yeah, they could have.
Why is that a safety release?
They could have just pulled a Hail Mary and just like send them all up.
Yeah, it was like that was one of my big things. Honestly, like for me, also the ending pissed me off. The first like 4 or 5 times I watched that movie.
It still pisses me off.
So
before we get to the ending, I want to talk about a couple more things that make this movie great and why Dana, I feel, is a good, strong role, played by Hanna Hutchison. Dana's character.
Because we kind of disagreed on that one a little bit.
Yeah, so she rises to the occasion in the movie, even though she doesn't want to, but she does. So, key point, she's the only one to kill a torture zombie, which you could argue that the stoner killed the torture zombie in the movie, but it's not shown. So he doesn't actually, and I think I remember watching, like, he doesn't kill it, he just knocks it out. Yeah. Like, she's the only one to actually kill one of them. Kill one of the mythical creatures. Sorry. I'm burping out of passion.
Coffee.
But the reason she rises is because she is, like, with Mary Beth and Hatchet, is that she's only rising it to survive. She's not rising to prove a point.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I actually disliked about her, though, she's also a flip-flopper through the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like, could that be because of the chemicals?
Well, no. Like, I'm talking, like, at the very end. Like, when Sigourney Weaver's, like, talking to her, she's like, you gotta kill him. It's...
Wait! We gotta give this... We gotta be fair. Okay. So if you don't want to be spoiled... Go ahead, like 5 seconds.
Oh my god! So
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Anyway. So when Sigourney Weaver, she was like, "You have to kill your friend, or else the whole world's gonna be doomed and stuff like that." She she tries to kill her friend, and the only reason why she does is she gets bitten by a werewolf.
Yeah,
and he kills him, and then she's like,
"Well, I agree with you on that.
I guess fuck it, let's just all die." It was like, no, bitch, fucking, like, stick to your guns. Either kill him, like, just fucking kill him.
Well, and I would even pose that makes her the villain in the end. Because it's like, oh, well, I want me and my friend, you know, I'm not gonna kill my friend. No, he's my friend. And Sigourney Weaver's like, no, you don't understand. Everyone will die a horrific death. Babies, good people, puppies. They will die a horrific death. And it's like, well, maybe the world needs a reset. No, you're not getting it.
There's no reset. It's gone.
Like
I can kind of get behind, just saying.
Well, yeah, but that's what we were saying, though, is like, the movie is supposed to, like, destroy those forces. Like, it's supposed to make, you know, break down those walls. And it's like, or not forces, tropes, sorry. And it's a trope of the two friends staying together in the end to fight the evil, which it would have been, I felt it would have been better if she just killed the stoner.
Yeah,
you know?
I would have liked, I would have liked that a lot more, or Sigourney Weaver just awesome both. Like, I kind of would have been, like, pretty cool with that, just because it was, like, fucking Sigourney Weaver. But, I mean, I know... Moves. But I know why they ended it like that. It's because they didn't want to do a sequel.
Yeah.
They didn't want to leave any wiggle room for a sequel whatsoever. They're like, this is just going to be a... Yeah, because it was so good and so popular. Everyone's like, we need a sequel. It's like, it's not going to be as good. All the charm's gone. Like,
even the surprise.
Even though it would have been... Like, I think we could have enjoyed it because to see a whole nother monster come after everybody. Like, if it was a whole movie based off that mermaid... Oh my god, it would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh, you gotta be.
The merman.
The merman.
You looked like you had something you wanted to say about it.
Oh, I like that. I mean, I don't like the ending. It makes me mad. But at the same time, I can kind of get behind the whole letting the world end. Because honestly, if I had the choice right now, and it came down to it, I'd probably I might make that decision to be like, well,
Doom, darkness, you're so edgy, Erynn.
I'm just thinking about it from the perspective of like, it's so fucked right now.
That's true. There's millions of people praising a guy who raped a girl, and he said, Jesus forgives me.
Yeah, that's the kind of world we live in.
Yeah.
And there's lots of good in this world.
And
like,
fucking
So then, like, you
Like
could even,
fucking
so like, you
Logan
could go
Paul.
on to say, like, it's a good, probably, like, I don't know, therapeutic release. That happened in the movie.
yeah,
you
and you don't always need a happy ending.
No, that's
Right.
actually why
Well, that's why I felt like if
like
she
Poltergeist.
killed the stoner, it was still gone with the unhappy ending.
Oh, yeah, because she
'Cause
would
then
have
she-
to live with the fact that not only did she kill her friend, but everything she just saw. And she literally just killed an entire facility of people because she released all the monsters.
Yeah.
So,
And then that's what I'm getting at, is that you would see the monsters come up, like, again, they didn't want to do a sequel, but it could lead you to think that the monsters would come and take over the world. Or the monsters would have a huge, like, war or kill themselves. Like,
Can I ask
gore.
you guys one question?
What?
That
No.
it's a little off topic, but not totally, because it goes with something sort of.
Okay.
But so, like, you know, at the end of horror movies, like, say for example, like Bride of Chucky, when this happens all the time. But
Off to a great start.
at the end, or even that one movie with Renee Zellweger, and I don't know.
Case 39?
Yeah.
Okay, so I love that
How
movie.
what happens to these people afterwards? Like, who's gonna believe them that it was the demon and like she killed a
Right.
demon? But do they end up in jail?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Well,
if she
okay,
survives,
so-
How can you prove
obviously
it?
they're not going to put her in jail because, oh, hey, werewolves do exist, along with giant mutant snakes.
They'd have to do
Yeah.
something with her. Like,
like
they couldn't just set her back off into society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say going off of the Chucky one, they do explain what happens to Andy, like throughout
No,
all the
but-
movies.
Like Bride of Chucky, though, like when they think it's Katherine Heigl and the dude who's going and murdering everybody, but it's really Chucky and Tiffany. And
Oh,
the
yeah.
only cop that knows that it's Chucky dies.
Yeah,
And so
Yeah.
what happens to Katherine Heigl and what's his butt? Like, who's going to believe them that, oh, it was these two dolls that went on the murdering spree?
mm-hmm.
Even though that's the truth, it's like, what do these people do? And
Jennifer
I wonder
Tilly.
that.
Jennifer Tilly.
I love Jennifer Tilly so
You keep
much.
saying Katherine Heigl.
No, Katherine Heigl, though. She's in Bride of Chucky.
She's
Is
the
she?
she's the protagonist.
yeah.
Nuh-uh.
Uh-huh.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just watched this like 3 days ago.
Oh my god,
Look
she
it up.
is.
And Jennifer Tilly is Tiffany.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's Katherine Heigl.
I've seen that movie so many times. Why don't I remember her being in it?
Katherine Heigl isn't that great.
Shots fired.
Pew pew pew.
Jennifer Tilly out awesomes her that entire movie.
I love Jennifer Tilly.
Wow, now I gotta rewatch it and figure out how I could forget she's even in that movie.
I'll kill anybody, but I'll sleep with only someone I love.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen.
So I always
Or
think
did
that's
you also
interesting.
notice that Jim Carrey's the guy Chucky kills in the beginning?
Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah. The heroin addict that Chucky kills that Jennifer Tilly's sleeping with? That's Jim Carrey.
No, that's David Arquette. Or not David Arquette. One of the other Arquettes. Patricia, the one that killed herself.
Patricia
Alexis
Arquette.
Arquette?
She
Alexis
killed herself?
The transgender sibling, yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't know
That
that.
was Jim Carrey.
That's
No.
really
Wait,
sad.
he's in one of... He dies in the beginning of a fucking horror movie. Maybe it wasn't Bride of Chucky. I know, he plays like a crazy rock dude and he just dies in the beginning.
It's really sad. I didn't know she.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not
Now
Alexis,
this
or yeah,
episode's
not
a
Patricia
downer.
Arquette, but
No,
Alexis.
Alexis,
Arquette,
yeah, Alexis.
Now this episode's a downer.
Still, I'm just like,
If you or anybody know is suffering
What I was just
from
depressing,
suicidal thoughts,
because
call
she was like
1-800.
hounded for
Yeah.
so long
I know.
for her sexual orientation, and like she was pushed to the edge, and then people exploited that, saying like, oh, she's unstable. Like, well, everybody made her unstable.
Yeah, it's
you
like,
know,
what the fuck do you expect?
like she was trying to not be.
If people would just be nice to each other
Basically,
or tolerate
You-
each other.
You stop that.
This movie
I
review
know.
took a weird left turn.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
So coming back, how do you feel about what we're saying about her as being the strong female role in this movie?
No?
I would not have ever picked Cabin in the Woods for that. I don't like completely.
No, it's okay. That's why.
See?
That's why we.
She agrees with me.
I don't completely disagree. Like, I don't think she's not a strong role. She's just not one that I would have been like, bam, like this is who I would think of when I think of strong female roles.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting choice on your part. And
Well, I was
think-
originally going to pick the Evil Dead remake, but I wanted to save that movie for when we talk about
Remakes.
successful remakes.
Oh, I love her.
So that's why I wanted to, because I was originally going to pick her, but I felt like this was a good choice because it's a good conversation.
Yeah.
Because I still stand by my theory that she's actually the main villain of this movie.
I think, you could consider her definitely the villain at the end.
Because this is one of the few movies where there's actually kind of a gray area between who's the villain and who's not.
Yeah.
Like, because all the people, of course, like, you think it's the evil corporation, but they're like, we're doing this to keep the human race alive. Like, the whole, like, do we sacrifice a few to save millions type thing?
Which of course you do.
And then while, the few, they're like, well, I want to live. And it's like, then you gotta die. Like, you have to die or else there is nothing to live.
Well, which going back to, like, Hatchet and Mary Beth's character, it's like, like you were saying, like, she's not a hero that you're supposed to like. Like, same thing with this corporation. Like, it's not... they're doing what they have to do to keep everyone alive. Essentially, they're the hero.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have to sacrifice people to keep everyone else alive. Where Dana's character at the end makes a selfish reason to doom everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like she's really the villain of the whole movie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what I think. Everyone else is wrong.
If you don't agree with my opinion, then your opinion's wrong.
Yeah. I don't know. Do we feel like we touched on that one pretty well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because we talked about our cons. That was kind of one.
Yeah, we're at the 1 hour mark.
Cool.
Yeah, it passed by fast.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, so before we go forward, I think we're going to bring you on for, I think it's, I don't know,
films, right?
Maybe episode 7 or 9 is when we're talking about doing paranormal movies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you talked about trying to bring someone from Code 3 with you.
Yeah, I'll bring my cop friend.
Mackie.
Mackie. Officer Mackie.
He's going to come over, he's like, I heard you were making fun of my name.
Oh my god, did you say it in K?
What?
His name's Mackie. Does he say it in K?
The South Park character?
Oh, yeah, no, he does not.
He hates that, I bet.
Does he hear that?
I never put that together. I'm going to start doing that.
Don't do drugs in K.
Okay.
You should do that every time you get off the phone. So be like, every time he's like, hey, Erynn, how is that recording looking? It's looking great, okay? Just do it subtly, see if he picks up on it.
Remember, Mackie, don't do drugs in K. Because drugs are bad.
You go catch them drugs, okay?
Oh, Mackie.
So yeah, I guess we'll bring you on. I think it's like for episode 7 or 9 for that one.
And then you guys are doing one about the snuff films, too.
Yeah, we're going to probably do that for 11.
Okay, because I would love to talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Did we decide what... I know we kind of talked
It depends on your availability and Mackie's availability as well.
Okay.
For all that. But yeah, the snuff films, for sure, you need to watch Human Centipede.
Oh, I've seen that.
And Cannibal Holocaust, the original.
So,
cool. Sweet.
We were also talking about...
a Serbian film.
I Spit on Your Grave.
I have never seen that, but I want to see it so bad.
It's so fucked. It's so messed up.
And we were also talking about I Spit on Your Grave and The Last House on the Left.
I have seen those two. I haven't seen I Spit on Your Grave, but I've seen Last One.
More so the remake than the original.
Yeah, watch the remake of that one, because that one still argued whether it's a good portrayal of, like...
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Point,
so then, to wrap everything
that's the most
up...
controversial out of all of them.
To wrap everything up, do you want to drop where people to follow and to go like your stuff?
Drop your shit. Not literally.
What is that thing you work on with paranormal?
No, yeah. Code 3 Paranormal. Pretty sweet.
On YouTube.
We're a little quiet right now because we're trying to get some good investigations going. But we just released a video a week ago, 2 weeks ago. So yeah, check out, it's Code 3 Paranormal on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. We'll follow back.
Do you want anybody to follow you specifically? Or you like being private?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Snow White Horror Princess on Instagram. Giggity.
And then, obviously for us, like, review, subscribe. Send us some 5 stars. Send them some love. Mm-hmm. We're on, at time of recording, we should be on Google Play, Spotify, and iTunes. Mm-hmm. We're trying to get on all the platforms as quick as we can.
Yeah. Follow us on Instagram at punkrockhorrorpodcast.
On our Twitter at official PHP all capitalized. Our Facebook as well. We also have our website, punkrockhorrorpodcast.com. And send us your stories.
Yeah.
Again, anything paranormal, crazy things you find in the walls, if you shake hands with a serial killer, if you survived a crazy accident that would be in a horror movie, we want to hear about it.
Or if you guys are having any problems in your homes or know any really cool unknown places that
Yeah, we'll
would
put
be a cool investigation. Like,
and we'll definitely put
Yeah.
Code 3's link in this episode and episode 3 as well.
contact us though. I mean, we love to come and help people out.
Hit him up.
But yeah, send us your stories. We want to hear anything creepy or horrific.
Strange.
We want to hear about it.
Who you gonna call?
Yeah, and the
Code.
email us at punkrockhorrorpodcast@gmail.com.
Sorry.
I need to say that again. They're not listening because you won't shut the fuck up. Okay, bye everybody.
Bye.